Heading to the office, I got meetings, work, blah, 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 but that's not important. What's important is what's happening tonight. So we are having a potluck tailgate tonight, which is sports themed, and that's a lot of fun. There's one big problem with that though. I don't have anything to wear. Well, I rummaged through my parents' house, through all of the stuff that I still have there, through their stuff, through old boxes, hoping for anything, even a middle school football jersey that was mine. Nope, nothing. I'm not very good at this whole sports fan situation. I love potlucks, and for a couple of reasons. First reason is that everybody gets together, everybody's having a good old time, no worries in the world. Awesome community building thing. Second reason is that it's in human nature to be competitive, and potlucks are a great time to be competitive with your cooking. So that means that we get the best food ever. So tonight was super fun. We had a potluck, absolutely delicious. And then went and the youth helped lead the kids with games, and everybody was just participating, high energy, total blast. It was a lot of fun. I feel like it would be a lot of people's nightmare, but I love it. I think it's a lot of fun. So I understand that working with a bunch of crazy high energy middle schoolers and high schoolers isn't necessarily a dream for a lot of people. When I started school to get into this, so many people made cracked jokes, even people that were in ministry cracked jokes about, is there anything I can do to talk you out of it? Like blah, 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 trying to be funny. And I always said no. I mean, I love it. I love working with youth. It's amazing. And so I'm gonna take a second and talk about why. How did I get to where I am today? Why do I do what I do? So let's take a trip back to the day I was baptized. So in the Methodist Church, we baptize people as infants. And so when I was an infant, baptized, and then grew up in the church, right? I was a typical church kid. At church on Sundays, got kicked out of Sunday school class. I knew the right things to say. I knew what the Sunday school teachers wanted to hear. I knew what they didn't. I knew sort of how to play the church game. And as time progressed, I'm moving up in the world. I'm fourth and fifth grader, doing some fun stuff there. And then next thing you know, I'm in sixth grade, right? I'm in middle school. And so all of a sudden I'm thrown into this world where we have sixth grade through 12th grade, which is a huge span of maturity levels, of interest levels, of everything. It's crazy. And so as this tiny little sixth grader who was annoying as anything, I was thrown into the lion's den with all these crazy, super cool high schoolers. Were the coolest people I'd ever seen in my life. Not really sure where I got that from. So at the end of my sixth grade year, we got a new youth director. This guy was there for five years. Anyways, so he was there for the majority, He was there for the majority of my time in youth group. He left to pursue a calling to international missions. And we got another guy in there for a year and a half or so, and he left. So we had a pretty big amount of change. So particularly in high school, there were tons of lessons, life lessons that I had to learn the hard way. And that right there is the beginning of why I wanted to go into youth ministry. All of these lessons that I learned the hard way, I didn't have to learn that way. It wasn't that my small group leaders and my youth pastor weren't doing a good job. It was that I didn't accept what they were trying to do, if that makes sense. Before my senior year started, I had sort of a moment of, it was more than a moment. So I had a few weeks of reflection going into my senior year, I looked back at my time in the youth group and realized how much energy people put into me and how much time and love people gave me, and how stupid it was for me to not take advantage of everything that the youth program had to offer. So at the heart of why I wanted to get into youth ministry is the sole fact that I didn't want people to have to learn some of the lessons the hard way that I had to learn the hard way. So here's the other side of why I like youth ministry. It's a little bit more of a selfish, shallow, cheesy reason, but I think it's so fascinating, right? So what other group of people besides middle schoolers and high schoolers that want to be so vulnerable and so independent at the same time? What other time in life is so dynamic and so diverse that you are literally changing every single day, and your relationships are changing every single day? Then there's the day-to-day stuff, right? The small things about the youth that you get to know, the relationships that you get to build, the funny stories that you come home with, the craziness of trips. And I want people to realize how much of an impact your mentors can have on you. So that's sort of, long story short, why I got into youth ministry and why I love it so much.